All right, boys and girls, today I wanted to talk a little bit about your writing that you're doing with Miss Bowen. I feel like you guys should just be pros at this because we have been working with Miss Bowen on an expository paper that I feel like we kind of got caught up or cut off in the middle of, or towards the end of, I would say. This is really, you guys are going through and really just doing the same thing with her again. This was the exact same thing we wanted to give you guys, just to see what you could do independently on your own, which we still had these videos to be able to go through. So today, I just want to do this really quick video because I know all these other videos have been long, um, on revising. I feel like maybe you guys were a little rushed in what you were doing. Some of you guys haven't even sent me this writing yet. So I want you to go back today and we're going to do just a little revision on our introductions and our main idea sentences. Now, it's going to be a little tough to not do your detailed sentences at the same time, but I know Wednesday that the detailed video wasn't even attached with Miss Bowen's lesson. So I thought that Wednesday I could send that out, even though I know we've been working on that and you guys have already had a lesson with her on that. A lot of you, well, almost all of you everybody that shared it with me, you wrote your detailed sentences. So that was fantastic. I know you didn't all need the video, but I thought you might want the video. So before we revise, I wanted to send that out to you guys. I thought we could separate that out a little bit. And again, I'm trying to cut down on your schedule some. So I just wanted to go through real quick. On the second slide here, I just put that today we're going to be working on revising our intros, and then I'm going to share with you guys this Powtoons video, this quick YouTube video. I'm going to let y'all watch. It's just like 2 minutes, but it's going to give you just a quick revision. I mean, like a quick revision. Excuse me, boys and girls, can't get my words out. Overview, and also it throws in editing too, but really listen to what it's telling you about revising, and because I have an anchor chart that matches it here in just a second. But I went ahead and left in these slides that Miss Bowen had clipped in on what we had talked about in class, just what is in an introduction paragraph. And I feel like we've worked really hard on this, on making sure we had our topic sentences in our intros. Y'all have got your leads down where you're grabbing the reader's attention, but we don't always remember that topic sentence piece where we've put in our three main ideas. And then some of you guys, I feel like, are just sticking with that one, like a question. We always just ask the question. So maybe try to, when you revise today, try to branch out and ask yourself, could I go with something else? I know that, like I said, I think we've been overwhelmed with all of this digital learning work. And so maybe you could try, an interesting fact or, a statistic or something like that as we go back and look at the different types of leads here, right here. A statistic like, 95% of students doing digital learning feel like they have too much work. I don't know that for a fact. Anyway, I know that was part of the lesson, was doing some research on your topic. You may not have even had time to do that. So maybe today might be the day to do that, because I really cut down on what I wanted y'all to do today. But I know on some of this writing that y'all had shared with me, some of you didn't even capitalize anything or didn't put it in marks and all that kind of stuff, which that's editing. That's not really revising, which we're going to talk about here in just a second. But just be aware of that as you go back in. The other thing I want to tell you guys as we get going here is I want you to revise in a different color font today. So just like we might use a different color, like an ink pen or a colored pencil or something in class, I want you to use a different color font as you're revising today. Now I'm going to send you a copy of this because I want you to see the video and stuff, but you don't need to make a copy of this. You're going to go back to your document in your drive. A lot of you guys are making copy of a copy and a copy of a copy of a copy. But remember, once you make a copy the first day I send it, it's in your drive. And boys and girls, I do that all the time too. So just think about that. You've already got it in your drive. You just need to open it back up in your drive. But I'm going to send you this just so you can go back and look at it. You could even do a split screen. You can pull up this document that I'm going to be sending you, and just have your anchor charts here that we'll talk about. And then you can have your paper right beside it, and that might help you. That might be a smart thing to do. So this is just a reminder about the intro. This is the types of leads you can do. Okay, so if you decide to change your lead, or maybe you add something to your topic sentence, you want to add some better, strong vocabulary, or you want to add, a quote or something into it, a fact, just make sure you put that in a different color font. So we go down here to, this was a slide I added, and it just says, think about what type of intro you use and ask yourself, did it grab the reader's attention? Did your topic sentence state your 3 main ideas? And sorry, this capitalized over here, boys and girls. Capitalized each word at the beginning of the sentence. Okay, so this was the anchor chart I wanted to show you. This is addressed in the Powtoons video, and this is one of those things that we can use to help us remember how to revise. And it's the arms versus the cups for editing. So in arms, when we analyze and revise something, we can think about arms, and it means to add, remove, move something, or substitute something. So when we add something, we're talking about adding details, adding description with adjectives, using our senses. And we do that, I believe, a lot with those detail questions, which we're going to save that for tomorrow, if you can. And then, using specific words, using great words, great vocabulary, removing words and sentences that don't make sense. A lot of times we'll type something twice, or, write a word twice or whatever. Reread it today. Reread what you've written and ask yourself, does it make sense? Could I add something to make it better? Imagine that you're reading like your very favorite book from your very favorite author. What is it you love about their writing that you could put into your writing? Move, it means to move words and sentences that fit in another spot. And that may not apply as much today if we're just going to be doing the intro and the main idea sentences. So that's just 4 things. That's 3 sentences, main idea sentences, and 1 intro. So we may not need to move much around. We're probably just going to be adding, removing, and substituting. So I love the way this anchor chart says dead words. Words we need to bury. Don't use those anymore. And then boring, substitute boring for exciting, substitute dead for alive words. But arms is a good way to think. Add, remove, move. Did I add, remove, move, and substitute? Okay. And then I went ahead and left this day 3 video if y'all wanted to watch it. Just to recap, you don't have to watch it again. And I wrote that right up here. Here's the link for the main idea and the detail sentences with Miss Bowen if you want to watch it again, but you don't have to. And then these are not for you to rewrite. I just left them there because I figured if I took them off, you'd be like, what are we supposed to do now, Miss Tarp? So I left them here for you just to go back and know that you need to go back and look at your main idea sentences. And like I said, it's going to be tricky because you've got your detail sentences attached to it, but just look at your main idea sentences and make sure you used your starters. And then just make sure that is there some description you could add? Is there a word you could add that's better? And use a different color font. And then Wednesday, we'll go back and talk more about the detail sentences and then move on to the conclusion. All right, boys and girls, good luck on revising. Do a good job. And be sure and share today your writing with me if you haven't, especially too, so I can check it out. All right, good luck.